Have you ever felt a profound sense of peace when you're alone? Or perhaps you've wondered if being by yourself could lead to greater understanding of who you are. In today's fast-paced world, we often fill our lives with noise and distractions. But what if the key to true strength lies in the moments of solitude? Consider this. When was the last time you took a break from everything around you? Your phone, your responsibilities, your social obligations? Imagine sitting quietly in a park, feeling the warmth of the sun and listening to the gentle rustle of leaves. In those moments, we can discover a different kind of power, one that comes from within. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we explore the depths of solitude and its transformative potential. If you find these ideas intriguing, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please support us by clicking that subscribe button. Your engagement helps us grow and spread this wisdom further. As we embark on this journey together, we'll uncover the profound insights that solitude can offer. Throughout this series, you'll learn how being alone is not merely a state of isolation, but a powerful tool for self-discovery and inner strength. In Buddhism, solitude is often viewed as a path to enlightenment. It encourages us to look inward, fostering clarity and understanding. As we delve deeper, we'll reveal how this practice can help you find balance, peace, and even creativity. Join us as we navigate the depths of being alone and discover how these moments can reshape our lives in powerful ways. Together, let's unlock the hidden treasures that solitude holds. Stay tuned. Embracing stillness. In our busy lives, we often forget the beauty of stillness. But what if embracing silence and solitude could change everything? Think of a time when you found yourself in a quiet place. Maybe it was a calm morning or a peaceful evening. How did it feel? In those moments, we can connect with ourselves in ways we often overlook. Buddhism teaches us that stillness is a powerful teacher. When we stop and listen, we can hear our thoughts clearly. It's like the mind is a pond. When the water is still, we can see deep down. But when it's choppy, we struggle to see anything clearly. Embracing stillness allows us to settle our thoughts, bringing clarity and calm. In daily life, we rush from one task to another. We check our phones, respond to messages, and often forget to take a moment just for ourselves. This constant activity can leave us feeling drained and disconnected. What if, instead of always being busy, we set aside time to sit in silence? Think of a simple practice. Take 5 minutes each day to sit quietly. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply, then exhale slowly. Feel the air filling your lungs and the way your body relaxes with each breath. This small act can bring a sense of peace that you might have forgotten existed. Many people find it challenging to be alone. It can feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is a sign of growth. Just like a seed must break through the soil to grow, we often need to face our feelings of unease to discover our true selves. Embracing solitude allows us to confront our thoughts, fears, and dreams without distraction. In Buddhism, the practice of meditation is a way to embrace stillness. It's a time to sit, breathe, and simply be. With regular practice, you'll find that the noise of the outside world fades away, and you can hear the gentle whispers of your own heart. Have you ever noticed how ideas come to you when you're quiet? Many artists and thinkers throughout history have found inspiration in solitude. When the mind is free from distractions, creativity flows. Embracing stillness opens up a space for new ideas to emerge. Imagine walking in nature, surrounded by trees and birds. Take a moment to appreciate the beauty around you. In this stillness, you can connect with the world in a deeper way. Nature teaches us that everything has its own rhythm. Just as the seasons change, we too have cycles of growth and rest. The journey to embrace stillness may not always be easy. You might feel restless or anxious at first. That's okay. Acknowledge those feelings without judgment. Allow yourself to sit with them. Over time, you'll discover that these moments of discomfort can lead to profound insights. When we make space for stillness, we also make space for gratitude. Reflecting on what you appreciate in your life can shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's lacking, you begin to see the abundance around you. Each moment of quiet can become a reminder of all that you have. In the hustle of life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Taking time for stillness helps us realign with our values and goals. We can ask ourselves important questions. What do I really want? What brings me joy? In this quiet reflection, we can rediscover our purpose. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of being present. When we're still, we can fully engage with the here and now. It's a chance to experience life without distraction. Each moment becomes richer and more meaningful when we learn to be present in it. As you begin to embrace stillness, you may find that it leads to a deeper understanding of yourself. You'll discover patterns in your thoughts and emotions. This self-awareness is a powerful tool for personal growth. The more you understand yourself, the more empowered you become. Stillness also helps us cultivate compassion. When we take time to reflect, we can connect with our feelings and the feelings of others. This understanding allows us to respond with kindness, both to ourselves and to those around us. Compassion grows in the soil of stillness. Imagine a world where everyone took time for stillness. How would our relationships change? How would our communities be different? By embracing solitude, we can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same. Together, we can foster a culture of mindfulness and compassion. In summary, embracing stillness is a powerful practice that can transform our lives. It helps us connect with ourselves, find clarity, and cultivate compassion. As we continue on this journey of being alone, let us remember that in the quiet moments, we can discover the loudest truths about ourselves. The inner journey begins. In our fast-moving lives, it's easy to forget the power of looking within ourselves. Many people spend their days distracted, rushing from one task to another. But when we take time alone, we open the door to a rich inner world. This is where the journey truly begins. Imagine standing on the edge of a beautiful forest. You can hear the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle chirping of birds. You take a deep breath and step into the trees. As you walk deeper, the outside world fades away. This is what being alone can feel like, a path leading to self-discovery. When we are alone, we can listen to our thoughts without interruptions. It's a chance to ask ourselves important questions. Who am I? What do I truly want? These questions might feel daunting, but they are the key to understanding our deepest selves. Buddhism teaches us that self-reflection is crucial for growth. The Buddha often spoke about looking inward to find wisdom. This isn't about judging ourselves. It's about understanding our feelings and thoughts. When we spend time alone, we can see our fears, hopes, and dreams more clearly. Think of a river. When the water is still, you can see the rocks and plants beneath the surface. But when the water is churning, everything is muddy. In the same way, our minds can become clouded with noise and distractions. Solitude allows us to calm the waters of our minds, revealing the beauty and clarity within. One powerful practice is to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Close your eyes and feel the air entering and leaving your body. This simple act brings you into the present moment. You may notice thoughts popping up. This is normal. Instead of pushing them away, acknowledge them. Say to yourself, I see you. This gentle acceptance creates a space for understanding. As you continue this practice, you may begin to notice patterns in your thoughts. Perhaps you worry about the future or dwell on past mistakes. These thoughts can weigh heavily on us, but in solitude, we can learn to observe them without judgment. This is the beginning of inner freedom. When we embrace solitude, we can also connect with our emotions. Many people fear their feelings, thinking they are too strong or overwhelming. But emotions are natural. In moments of stillness, we can explore these feelings safely. What makes us happy? What makes us sad? Understanding our emotions is a vital part of knowing ourselves. Consider the idea of a garden. Just like plants need sunlight and water to grow, our emotions need attention and care. If we ignore our feelings, they can become weeds that choke our joy. But when we spend time alone, we can tend to our emotional garden, nurturing the flowers of happiness and pulling out the weeds of negativity. Another aspect of the inner journey is understanding our values. What truly matters to us? In solitude, we can reflect on our beliefs and priorities. Are we living in a way that aligns with our values? This introspection can guide us to make choices that feel authentic and true to ourselves. In Buddhism, there is a practice called mindful awareness. This involves being fully present in the moment, observing thoughts and feelings without attachment. It's a powerful way to connect with ourselves. As you practice mindfulness in solitude, you may find insights that surprise you. These moments of clarity can shape the way you live your life. As you continue this inner journey, remember to be patient with yourself. Self-discovery is not a race. It's a gentle unfolding. Some days may feel heavy, while others feel light. Embrace each feeling as part of your journey. This acceptance allows you to grow without the pressure of perfection. Another important lesson from Buddhism is the idea of non-attachment. We often cling to certain outcomes or desires, thinking they will bring us happiness. But in solitude, we learn that true happiness comes from within, not from external sources. By letting go of attachments, we open ourselves to deeper joy and peace. As you explore your inner world, you may also encounter fears. It's common to have fears about being alone or facing certain truths. Acknowledge these fears and remind yourself that they do not define you. Instead, view them as stepping stones on your path to self-discovery. Each fear you face can lead to greater strength and resilience. The beauty of the inner journey is that it leads to self-acceptance. When we understand ourselves deeply, we can embrace our flaws and strengths. This acceptance brings a sense of freedom. You no longer need to hide parts of yourself. You can show up in the world as your true self. As you continue to spend time alone, keep a journal. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and insights. This practice allows you to track your growth and reflect on your journey. It can also serve as a reminder of how far you've come. Remember that solitude is not about isolating yourself from the world. It's about creating a sacred space within where you can explore who you are. When you feel centered and connected to yourself, you can engage more authentically with others. Your relationships can deepen when you are in tune with your own heart. In conclusion, the inner journey begins when you allow yourself to be alone with your thoughts and feelings. It's a powerful process that leads to self-discovery, understanding, and growth. Embrace this journey with an open heart, and you may uncover the profound strength that lies within you. As you walk this path, remember that every moment of solitude is a step toward greater wisdom and peace. Lessons from the Buddha. In the quiet corners of our minds, we often overlook the teachings of those who came before us. One such teacher is the Buddha, who understood the power of solitude and self-reflection. His life and teachings offer us valuable lessons on how being alone can lead us to greater wisdom and peace. Buddha began his journey in a palace, surrounded by luxury, yet he felt something was missing. This yearning for truth led him to leave everything behind and seek enlightenment. His journey into the wilderness represents a fundamental truth. Sometimes, we must step away from the noise of the world to discover our true selves. The Buddha taught that solitude is not about loneliness, it's about connection. When we are alone, we can connect deeply with our thoughts and feelings. In those moments of quiet, we can hear our inner voice, the one that often gets drowned out by the chaos of daily life. This connection can guide us toward understanding what truly matters. Meditation is a key practice in Buddhism that highlights the importance of solitude. When we meditate, we create space for our minds to settle. Imagine sitting in silence, focusing on your breath. Each inhale and exhale brings a sense of calm. Through this practice, we learn to observe our thoughts without judgment. This observation allows us to understand our emotions better, leading to a clearer mind and heart. Buddha also emphasized mindfulness. Being present in the moment helps us appreciate life's simple joys. When we spend time alone, we can practice mindfulness fully. Whether it's savoring a cup of tea or watching the sunset, solitude offers a chance to engage deeply with our experiences. This presence brings peace and clarity to our busy minds. Another important lesson from the Buddha is the concept of impermanence. Everything in life changes, including our thoughts and feelings. When we're alone, we can reflect on this truth. It reminds us that our struggles and challenges are temporary. Understanding this can help us let go of worries and embrace the present moment. Buddhism teaches compassion, not only for others, but also for ourselves. When we're alone, we have the opportunity to practice self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves in a busy world, but solitude invites us to be gentle and kind to our inner selves. We can acknowledge our struggles without judgment and treat ourselves with love and understanding. Solitude also allows for personal growth. The Buddha's teachings encourage us to explore our inner landscapes. In moments of quiet reflection, we can identify our strengths and weaknesses. We can set goals and envision the life we want. This self-exploration is a crucial step toward becoming our best selves. Furthermore, the Buddha's teachings remind us of the importance of letting go. Holding on to past hurts or regrets can weigh us down. In solitude, we can process these feelings, allowing ourselves to grieve and eventually release them. This act of letting go opens up space for healing and new possibilities. Buddha's story is one of transformation. By embracing solitude, he discovered profound truths about life and existence. His journey teaches us that our own paths can lead to similar discoveries. Solitude is not something to fear. It's a tool for transformation and empowerment. As we explore these lessons, let's remember that solitude can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. It teaches us that being alone can be a powerful experience, one that fosters connection, mindfulness, and growth. In a world that often encourages constant activity and connection, the teachings of the Buddha serve as a gentle reminder to seek balance. Embracing solitude allows us to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with our true selves. It's in these moments of stillness that we can cultivate a sense of peace and clarity that carries into our daily lives. So, let's take these lessons to heart. As we embrace solitude, we'll find strength in our ability to be alone and discover the wisdom that lies within us. By following the path laid out by the Buddha, we can transform our solitude into a powerful ally on our journey towards self-discovery and enlightenment. The power of mindfulness. Mindfulness is like a gentle light that helps us see clearly in our busy lives. It means paying full attention to what's happening right now, without judgment. In today's world, where we often rush through our days, mindfulness reminds us to slow down and breathe. Imagine sitting quietly, focusing on your breath. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and then slowly leaving. This simple act of paying attention to your breath can ground you in the present moment. It allows you to connect with your feelings and thoughts without getting lost in them. Mindfulness teaches us that it's okay to feel whatever we're feeling, whether it's joy, sadness, or even frustration. Each feeling is part of our journey. In Buddhism, mindfulness is a vital practice. The Buddha taught that being aware of our thoughts and actions helps us understand the nature of suffering. When we recognize what causes our pain, we can begin to heal. Mindfulness encourages us to observe our thoughts as they arise, like clouds drifting across the sky. We don't need to hold on to them or push them away. We simply let them pass. Practicing mindfulness also helps us appreciate the small things in life. Have you ever noticed how a warm cup of tea feels in your hands? Or how the sound of rain can be soothing? When we bring mindfulness into our daily activities, everything becomes richer and more vibrant. We start to savor the moment instead of rushing through it. One powerful way to practice mindfulness is through meditation. You don't need any special skills or a quiet room. Find a comfortable place to sit, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breathing. This simple practice can help calm your mind and create a sense of inner peace. Another way to embrace mindfulness is through mindful walking. When you walk, pay attention to each step. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Notice the movement of your body and breathe deeply. This practice connects you with the present moment and enhances your awareness of the world around you. Mindfulness can also transform our relationships. When we are present with others, we listen more deeply and connect more authentically. Instead of thinking about what to say next, we focus on what the other person is sharing. This kind of attention fosters understanding and compassion. As you embrace mindfulness, you may find that your stress levels decrease. When we worry about the past or future, we create anxiety. Mindfulness helps us anchor ourselves in the present, where we can find peace. It's a gentle reminder that we can face each moment as it comes, rather than being overwhelmed by what lies ahead. Mindfulness doesn't require hours of practice. Even a few minutes a day can make a difference. You can start by setting a timer for 5 minutes and dedicating that time to simply being aware of your breath. Gradually, you can increase this time as you become more comfortable with the practice. Another helpful tip is to integrate mindfulness into your daily routines. Whether you're eating, washing dishes, or brushing your teeth, try to be fully present. Notice the flavors of your food, the sensation of water on your hands, or the feeling of the toothbrush against your teeth. This transforms mundane tasks into opportunities for mindfulness. As you cultivate this practice, you may notice changes in your perspective. Life may feel lighter, and challenges might seem less daunting. Mindfulness helps us approach difficulties with a calm mind and an open heart. In Buddhism, the concept of sati, or mindfulness, is central to personal growth. It teaches us to live with intention and awareness, leading to a more meaningful life. As we learn to be present, we cultivate compassion for ourselves and others. Ultimately, the power of mindfulness lies in its ability to transform our experience of life. It encourages us to embrace the present moment, appreciate the beauty around us, and connect more deeply with ourselves and others. As you practice mindfulness, you'll discover that being alone can be a powerful opportunity to reflect, grow, and find joy in simply being. Let this journey of mindfulness guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Embrace each moment and watch how it unfolds with clarity and peace, self-reflection and growth. When we talk about being alone, one of the most valuable gifts it offers is the chance for self-reflection. In our busy lives, it's easy to lose touch with ourselves. We rush from one task to another, often ignoring our feelings and thoughts. But in solitude, we can pause and truly listen to what's happening inside us. This is where real growth begins. Think about it. When was the last time you took a moment just to think, not just to plan your day or worry about deadlines, but to actually reflect on who you are and what you want? In solitude, you can ask yourself important questions. What makes you happy? What are your fears? What do you want to achieve? By taking this time for self-reflection, you open the door to understanding yourself better. In Buddhism, self-reflection is a key practice. It teaches us to look within and observe our thoughts without judgment. This is not about criticizing ourselves. It's about becoming aware. When we are alone, we can meditate on our experiences. We can sift through our memories and feelings, gaining insight into our behavior and patterns. This process is essential for personal growth. Imagine sitting quietly in a comfortable space, your mind drifting gently to your past experiences. You recall moments of joy, sadness, and everything in between. Each memory holds a lesson. When we reflect on these moments, we begin to see how they shape us. Maybe a tough situation taught you resilience. Perhaps a joyful event reminded you of what truly matters in life. This reflection can lead to powerful realizations. For instance, you might discover that certain habits are holding you back. In solitude, you can think about how to change them. You can set goals for yourself, not just in your career but also in your personal life. What kind of person do you want to become? Solitude gives you the space to answer this question honestly. Moreover, self-reflection helps us understand our emotions. We often react to situations without thinking, but when we take time alone, we can analyze our feelings. Why did a certain event upset us? What triggered our joy? By understanding our emotional responses, we can learn to manage them better. This self-awareness is a crucial step in emotional growth. Let's consider an example. Imagine you had a disagreement with a friend. In the heat of the moment, you might react with anger. But when you're alone, you can reflect on what happened. You can ask yourself why the situation affected you so strongly. Maybe it touched on a past experience or a deeper fear. Through this reflection, you gain insight not just into the disagreement, but into yourself. As you practice self-reflection, you'll also notice a shift in how you see the world. You'll begin to understand that everyone is on their own journey. Just as you are growing and learning, so are they. This perspective can lead to greater compassion for others. When we reflect on our struggles, we realize that others face challenges too. This understanding can strengthen our relationships. Another aspect of self-reflection is gratitude. When we take time alone to think about our lives, we often find things to be thankful for. Maybe it's the support of friends, the beauty of nature, or even small joys like a warm cup of tea. Practicing gratitude in solitude helps us focus on the positive aspects of our lives. This shift in perspective can improve our overall happiness. As we grow through self-reflection, we may also feel a desire to share our insights. This doesn't mean we need to broadcast our thoughts to everyone, but rather that we can connect with others in a deeper way. When we understand ourselves better, we can communicate more effectively. We can express our needs, desires, and feelings honestly. However, self-reflection isn't always easy. It can bring up uncomfortable truths. Sometimes, we might realize that we're not living authentically. We might see that we're following others' expectations instead of our own desires. While this can be tough to face, it's a crucial part of growth. Acknowledging these truths allows us to make necessary changes in our lives. To support this journey, consider incorporating practices like journaling. Writing down your thoughts can help clarify your feelings and insights. You might discover patterns you weren't aware of before. Journaling also provides a space to express gratitude and document your growth over time. As we explore self-reflection, remember that it's a lifelong journey. It's not about reaching a destination, but rather embracing the process. Each moment of solitude adds to our understanding of ourselves. We grow with each experience, each lesson learned in silence. So, how do we make self-reflection a regular practice? Start small. Set aside a few minutes each day to be alone with your thoughts. Create a cozy space where you feel comfortable. Use this time to meditate, journal, or simply think. Allow your mind to wander and pay attention to what comes up. Over time, you'll find that these moments of reflection become more meaningful. You'll begin to notice changes in how you see yourself and the world. This self-awareness can empower you to live more authentically. You'll be able to make choices that align with your true self. Ultimately, the journey of self-reflection is about connection. Connecting with yourself, with others, and with the world around you. In solitude, we find the clarity we need to grow. Embrace this powerful practice and watch how it transforms your life. Through self-reflection, we unlock the potential within us, paving the way for a deeper understanding of who we are and who we can become. Finding peace in solitude. In our busy lives, finding moments of peace can feel like a challenge. But solitude offers a special kind of calm that can transform our minds and hearts. When we allow ourselves to be alone, we create space to breathe and reflect. This peace can be a powerful guide in our lives. Imagine sitting quietly in a room or a garden. Just close your eyes and listen. What do you hear? The sound of your breath, maybe a bird chirping or leaves rustling in the wind. In these simple moments, we can connect with the world around us and also with ourselves. Solitude helps us to tune in to what truly matters. Buddhism teaches that being alone is not something to fear. Instead, it can be a gift. In solitude, we can confront our thoughts and feelings without distractions. This is where true understanding begins. It's like shining a light on the darker corners of our minds. We can see what we need to let go of and what we want to embrace. When we find peace in solitude, we also discover clarity. The noise of the outside world often clouds our judgment and emotions. But when we sit quietly, our minds can clear. Decisions become easier, and we can see the path ahead. It's like wiping a foggy window clean. Suddenly, everything is visible. Think of a time when you felt overwhelmed. Maybe it was during a stressful day at work or after a big argument. In those moments, stepping away and finding a quiet space can help us regain our composure. Alone, we can reflect on what happened and how we truly feel. This self-reflection is essential for growth. Solitude also fosters self-acceptance. In a world full of expectations, it's easy to lose sight of who we are. But when we spend time alone, we can explore our own thoughts and feelings without judgment. We can ask ourselves difficult questions and face our true selves. This honesty leads to deeper self-love. Sometimes, we may worry that being alone will make us lonely. But loneliness is different from solitude. Loneliness feels heavy and burdensome, while solitude is light and freeing. In solitude, we can enjoy our own company and find joy in simple things. Reading a book, enjoying a cup of tea, or even just watching the clouds can become beautiful experiences. In Buddhism, meditation is a practice of solitude. Sitting quietly, focusing on the breath, helps us connect with our inner peace. This practice can be done anywhere, at home, in a park, or even on a busy street. The key is to create a space where we can just be. With regular practice, we can cultivate a lasting sense of peace. Another way to find peace and solitude is through nature. Spending time outside allows us to connect with something greater than ourselves. The beauty of a sunset or the sound of waves can bring a sense of calm. Nature teaches us to appreciate the present moment, reminding us that everything is interconnected. Finding peace and solitude also requires patience. At first, it may feel uncomfortable to be alone with our thoughts. We might be tempted to reach for our phones or turn on the TV. But if we stick with it, we begin to see the rewards. The more we practice, the easier it becomes to find joy in our own company. We can also use solitude as a time for creativity. Many artists, writers, and thinkers have found their best ideas when alone. Solitude allows our minds to wander freely without interruptions. We can explore new thoughts and let our imaginations run wild. Embracing this time can lead to surprising discoveries about ourselves and our passions. Sometimes, we may need to set boundaries to protect our solitude. In a world that values constant connection, it's important to carve out time for ourselves. This could mean turning off our phones, saying no to social invitations, or simply finding a quiet corner at home. By prioritizing solitude, we honor our need for peace. Finding peace in solitude is also about letting go. We often carry worries and stress that weigh us down. When we spend time alone, we can release these burdens. Through deep breaths and mindful moments, we can free ourselves from what no longer serves us. This letting go opens the door to inner peace. As we embrace solitude, we may discover new strengths within us. Facing our fears and doubts in silence helps us build resilience. We realize that we can trust ourselves to navigate life's challenges. This self-trust becomes a powerful tool as we move through the world. In summary, finding peace in solitude is a journey of self-discovery. It invites us to connect with our true selves and understand our emotions. By embracing moments of quiet, we can gain clarity, acceptance, and creativity. So let us celebrate the power of solitude and the peace it brings. Each moment alone is an opportunity for growth and connection with the world around us. Alone time and creativity. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, many overlook the incredible potential of alone time for creativity. Have you ever noticed how your best ideas often come to you when you're not surrounded by others? When we take a step back from the busyness of life, we open the door to inspiration and innovation. Being alone allows your mind to wander freely. Without external influences, your thoughts can flow more naturally. This space gives you the freedom to explore your ideas without judgment. Imagine sitting in a quiet room or a peaceful park. The world fades away, and you can focus on what truly matters to you. Think of famous artists and writers who sought solitude for their work. Many creative minds found their greatest inspiration when they were alone. Vincent van Gogh painted some of his most famous pieces during times of solitude. His ability to connect with his inner world transformed his art, allowing him to express emotions in ways that resonate deeply with others. In Buddhism, creativity is seen as a reflection of the mind's clarity. When we meditate or spend time alone, we clear the clutter of thoughts. This clarity opens up pathways for new ideas to emerge. You can think of your mind as a garden. If it's overgrown with weeds, distractions, it's hard to see the flowers, creative thoughts that are waiting to bloom. Alone time helps you tend to that garden, nurturing your creative potential. When you embrace solitude, you might discover new passions. Maybe you've always wanted to try painting, writing, or composing music. Alone time gives you the chance to explore these interests without feeling rushed or pressured. You can take your time, experiment, and see what resonates with you. Furthermore, being alone can lead to deeper self-awareness. When you engage in creative activities solo, you get to know yourself better. What do you enjoy? What moves you? This self-discovery is essential for personal growth. Each creative endeavor teaches you something new about who you are. Many people fear being alone, thinking it leads to loneliness. However, it's essential to differentiate between solitude and loneliness. Solitude is a choice. It's a time you take for yourself to recharge and explore your creativity. Loneliness, on the other hand, can feel isolating and heavy. By embracing solitude, you can transform that fear into a powerful opportunity for growth. In today's fast-paced society, we often think we must constantly be on. This can stifle creativity making it difficult to produce our best work. Alone time offers a refuge from this pressure. In that quiet space, you can hear your own voice and trust your instincts. Additionally, being alone can enhance your problem-solving skills. When faced with challenges, solitude allows you to think critically and find solutions that might not be apparent in a group setting. It's like having a brainstorming session with your mind. You can explore various angles, weigh options, and come to conclusions that feel right for you. Moreover, alone time fosters originality. When we are constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to get influenced by their ideas and opinions. But when you're alone, you can think freely. You can create without boundaries, leading to unique expressions of your thoughts and feelings. In the realm of creativity, it's vital to create an environment that nurtures your ideas. Whether it's a cozy corner in your home, a quiet cafe, or a tranquil spot in nature, find a space where you feel comfortable being alone. Let that space inspire you. Surround yourself with tools, like a sketchbook, journal, or musical instrument, that ignite your imagination. When you feel inspired, allow yourself to dive deep into your creative projects. Don't worry about the outcome, focus on the process. Enjoy the act of creating. This mindset can lead to breakthroughs you never imagined. Each stroke of paint, each written word, or each note played is a step toward expressing your inner self. Remember, creativity is not a linear path. It's full of twists and turns, ups and downs. Alone time provides the opportunity to navigate this journey at your own pace. It's okay to have moments of frustration. They are part of the process. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Finally, the act of sharing your creative work with others can be a beautiful experience. When you feel ready, consider sharing your creations with friends, family, or even a wider audience. This act of vulnerability can deepen your connection with others and inspire them to explore their own creativity. In conclusion, alone time is a powerful tool for creativity. It offers space for inspiration, self-discovery, and original expression. By embracing solitude, you unlock the potential within yourself, allowing your ideas to flourish. So, the next time you feel the urge to seek company, consider the beauty of being alone instead. You might just discover the creative spark that has been waiting for you all along. Transformative silence. Silence can feel uncomfortable. In a world filled with constant noise, it's easy to avoid moments of quiet. But what if we embrace silence instead? Imagine a space where you can hear your own thoughts clearly, where the chaos of life fades away. This is where transformation begins. When we sit in silence, we create a space for reflection. In those moments, we can connect with our inner selves. It's like turning down the volume on everything around us, allowing us to listen to our own hearts. This is a crucial step on the path to understanding who we are and what we truly desire. In Buddhism, silence is not just the absence of sound. It's an opportunity for mindfulness. When we meditate in silence, we train our minds to focus and become aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice helps us see things more clearly. Instead of getting lost in worries or distractions, we can observe them, understand them, and eventually let them go. Transformative silence can also help us process our emotions. When we are busy, we often ignore our feelings. But in silence, we can confront them. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, taking a moment of quiet can be incredibly healing. It allows us to feel what we need to feel, to acknowledge our pain, joy, or confusion. This acknowledgement is the first step toward healing. Moreover, silence opens the door to creativity. When we stop the constant chatter in our minds, we make room for new ideas to emerge. Many artists, writers, and thinkers find their best inspiration in moments of quiet. By allowing ourselves to sit in silence, we invite creativity to flow freely. It's in those still moments that brilliant ideas can surface. Let's also consider how silence affects our relationships. In a world where we're constantly connected, we often forget the power of simply being present with someone in silence. Sometimes, sharing a moment of quiet with a friend or loved one can deepen your bond. It shows that you value their presence, and it creates a space for authentic connection. Silence is also a powerful teacher. It teaches us patience. In a society that values instant gratification, sitting in silence reminds us that some things take time. It encourages us to slow down, breathe, and simply be. When we practice this, we become more resilient and better equipped to handle life's challenges. Another benefit of transformative silence is the clarity it brings. When we step away from the noise, we can see our lives from a new perspective. Decisions that once seemed overwhelming become clearer. We start to recognize what truly matters to us and what we might need to let go of. This clarity can lead to powerful life changes. In moments of silence, we can also connect with nature. The sounds of the natural world, birds singing, leaves rustling, create a serene backdrop for our thoughts. Spending time outdoors, away from the clamor of daily life, allows us to recharge and find peace. Nature teaches us the value of stillness and the beauty in quiet moments. To truly experience the power of silence, it's essential to make it a regular part of your life. Start with just a few minutes each day. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Allow your thoughts to come and go without clinging to them. Over time, you'll find that silence becomes a refuge, a space where you can recharge and reconnect with yourself. In the Buddhist tradition, silence is often a gateway to deeper understanding. When we embrace silence, we can begin to see beyond our immediate concerns. We become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and the world around us. This awareness fosters compassion, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. As we practice transformative silence, we start to cultivate a sense of inner peace. This peace radiates outward, affecting how we interact with the world. We become more patient, more understanding, and more present in our daily lives. This shift can transform our relationships, our work, and our overall happiness. So, how can you incorporate more silence into your life? Begin by setting aside specific times for quiet reflection. It could be in the morning before the day starts, during a lunch break, or in the evening before bed. Use this time to check in with yourself, to breathe, and to simply be. Remember, silence is not something to fear. It's a powerful tool for growth and transformation. Embrace it. Allow it to guide you on your journey of self-discovery and inner peace. In the end, it's in those quiet moments that we often find our greatest strength and wisdom. Connecting with nature. Imagine this. You are sitting under the shade of a tree. The cool breeze gently brushes against your face. The leaves rustle softly in the wind, and the sounds of birds chirping fill the air. In this moment, you feel connected to something greater than yourself. This is the power of nature. It speaks to us without words, offering wisdom and peace if we take the time to listen. In this part, I want to share how being alone in nature can be one of the most transformative experiences. Nature has a unique way of showing us our true selves. It reminds us that we are a part of something much bigger. When we are in nature, we are not really alone. We are surrounded by life, by energy, by the universe itself. You see, in today's world, we have become so disconnected from the natural world. We live in cities, surrounded by buildings, cars, and screens. We are always rushing, always thinking about the next thing. But nature doesn't rush. A tree doesn't hurry to grow, and the sun doesn't race across the sky. Nature moves at its own pace, and in doing so, it teaches us the value of patience, stillness, and presence. When you take time to be alone in nature, you allow yourself to slow down. You start to notice things that were always there, but you were too busy to see. You might see the way a flower opens in the morning, or how a stream flows quietly over rocks. You might feel the texture of the earth beneath your feet, grounding you to the present moment. In Zen practice, nature is often seen as a reflection of our inner state. When the mind is calm, we can see the beauty in the world around us. But when the mind is restless, we may overlook the simple wonders of life. Nature helps to quiet the mind, to bring us back to a place of inner peace. It allows us to let go of our worries, our fears, and our distractions, if only for a little while. Have you ever noticed how a walk in the park or a hike in the mountains can change your mood? Suddenly, the problems that seemed so big start to feel smaller. You might even find answers to questions you've been struggling with. This is because nature has a calming effect on the mind. It helps us to see things more clearly, to put life into perspective. Buddhism teaches us that everything in nature is connected. The trees, the rivers, the animals, and even the air we breathe. they are all part of the same cycle of life. When we are in nature, we are reminded of this connection. We begin to feel a sense of oneness with the world around us. This sense of connection can bring a deep feeling of peace and contentment, something that is often missing in our everyday lives. There's a famous Buddhist story about a monk who went to meditate in the mountains. He sat by a stream, listening to the sound of the water as it flowed over the rocks. At first, his mind was filled with thoughts, worries, plans, and distractions. But slowly, as he sat in silence, his mind began to quiet. He started to feel a deep connection with the stream, the rocks, and the trees around him. In that moment, he understood that everything in the universe was connected, and he experienced a profound sense of peace. This story reminds us that nature has the power to heal and transform us, but only if we take the time to be present with it. When we are in nature, it's important not to rush or to think about the past or the future. Instead, try to focus on the present moment. Listen to the sounds around you, feel the earth beneath your feet, and breathe in the fresh air. These small moments of connection can have a big impact on your mental and emotional well-being. Being alone in nature is not about isolating yourself from the world. It's about reconnecting with the world in a deeper way. It's about finding peace within yourself and recognizing that you are a part of something much bigger. When you are in nature, you don't need to do anything or be anyone. You can simply be. And in that stillness, you may discover a deeper sense of who you truly are. Many people believe that spending time alone in nature is a way to escape from the problems of life. But in reality, it's the opposite. Nature doesn't help us run away from our problems. It helps us face them with a clearer mind and a stronger heart. When we are in nature, we are reminded that life is always changing, just like the seasons. The problems we face today will not last forever, and just like winter eventually gives way to spring, so too will our difficulties pass in time. In Zen, there is a saying, "The sound of the forest is the sound of the mind." This means that the way we experience nature is a reflection of our inner state. If our minds are busy and filled with thoughts, we might not hear the peaceful sounds of the forest. But if we quiet our minds, we can hear the true sound of nature, which is the sound of harmony and balance. I encourage you to find time to be alone in nature, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. You don't need to go to a remote mountain or a faraway forest. A nearby park or a quiet corner of your garden can be just as powerful. The key is to be present and open to the experience. Let nature be your teacher and see what lessons it has to offer. Remember, nature doesn't expect anything from you. It doesn't judge you, and it doesn't demand that you be anything other than who you are. In nature, you are free to simply be. This freedom can bring a deep sense of relief and joy, allowing you to let go of the pressures and expectations of daily life. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or disconnected, take a moment to step outside. Find a quiet place in nature where you can be alone, and let the natural world remind you of the peace and strength that lies within you. You may be surprised at the clarity and calm that comes from just a few minutes of solitude in nature. It's a simple but powerful way to reconnect with yourself and with the world around you. As we continue this journey of exploring the power of being alone, remember that nature is always there, waiting to guide you back to yourself. It's in the stillness of the trees, the flow of the river, and the warmth of the sun. All you have to do is take a moment to be present, and nature will do the rest. Building inner resilience. Imagine for a moment that life is like a river. Sometimes, the waters are calm, and you can float along without any effort. Other times, the river is rough, with strong currents pushing against you. In these moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, struggling to keep your head above water. But what if you could build a stronger inner strength, so that no matter how turbulent the river gets, you remain steady, calm, and in control? This strength I speak of is inner resilience, the ability to handle life's challenges with grace and confidence. And one of the best ways to cultivate this resilience is through spending time alone. You see, when we are constantly surrounded by noise, people, and distractions, we rarely get the chance to reflect on ourselves and grow from within. Solitude offers us the space we need to build this vital strength. Let's start by understanding what inner resilience truly means. Resilience isn't about never feeling stress, sadness, or fear. It's about how you respond to these emotions. It's about knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you have the inner resources to handle it. You can bend without breaking. You can feel the pressure but not let it defeat you. When you spend time alone, you give yourself the chance to practice this. Without the influence of others, you can sit with your own thoughts, your own emotions, and really get to know yourself. This might seem uncomfortable at first, but it's in this discomfort that resilience starts to grow. You learn to rely on yourself, to face your feelings head-on, and to find strength within. Let's think about a simple example from everyday life. Imagine you are in a crowded room full of people, and suddenly, you feel a wave of anxiety. You might look around for someone to talk to, someone to distract you from that feeling. But what if, instead of seeking a distraction, you stepped out of the room and found a quiet place to sit by yourself? In that moment of solitude, you give yourself the space to breathe, to reflect on why you're feeling anxious, and to remind yourself that you are capable of handling it. This is the practice of building inner resilience. Now, this doesn't mean you have to isolate yourself from others all the time, but regularly setting aside moments to be alone, even for just a few minutes each day, can have a powerful effect. When you're alone, you can meditate, journal, or simply sit in silence. This practice gives you the opportunity to become more in tune with yourself, which strengthens your ability to deal with challenges. In Buddhism, there's a teaching that suffering is a natural part of life. No matter who you are, you will face hardships at some point. But instead of running from suffering or trying to avoid it, Buddhism teaches us to embrace it, to accept it as part of our journey. When we do this, we begin to understand that suffering is not something to fear. It is something that can help us grow. By spending time alone, we give ourselves the space to confront our suffering. We can look at it without distraction, without the noise of the outside world telling us how we should feel or what we should do. In this quiet space, we can start to understand our suffering, and in doing so, we become stronger. This is where resilience is born. Think of a tree standing tall in the middle of a storm. The winds blow, the rain pours, but the tree does not break. Its roots are deep, and its trunk is strong. This is what we want to build within ourselves. And just like a tree, our strength comes from within. It's not about how much external support we have. It's about how deeply rooted we are in ourselves. One way to deepen these roots is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. When you are alone, practicing mindfulness can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings. Instead of pushing away difficult emotions, mindfulness teaches you to sit with them, to observe them without getting swept away. Over time, this practice helps you build resilience, because you learn that your emotions, no matter how intense, are temporary. They will pass, and you will remain. Another key to building resilience through solitude is self-compassion. Often, when we are alone with our thoughts, we can be our own harshest critics. We may dwell on our mistakes, our shortcomings, or our insecurities. But true resilience comes from treating ourselves with kindness, especially in these moments. When you're alone and you notice negative thoughts creeping in, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are human. You are doing the best you can, and it's okay to not have everything figured out. Self-compassion doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook for everything. It simply means acknowledging that you are worthy of kindness, just like everyone else. When you practice this regularly, you start to build an inner resilience that is not shaken by self-doubt or criticism. You begin to trust yourself more, knowing that even when things don't go perfectly, you have your own back. In solitude, we also have the opportunity to reflect on our values and what truly matters to us. When you're constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to get caught up in their opinions, their expectations, and their desires. But when you're alone, you can take the time to ask yourself, what do I care about? What kind of life do I want to live? This clarity is essential for building resilience, because it gives you a strong foundation to stand on when life gets tough. When you know what you value, you can make decisions that align with those values, even in difficult situations. You become less swayed by the opinions of others and more confident in your own path. This confidence is a key component of resilience, as it allows you to navigate challenges with a clear sense of purpose. Finally, let's talk about patience. Building inner resilience is not something that happens overnight. It's a process, and like any process, it takes time. There will be moments when you feel strong, and there will be moments when you feel like giving up. But each time you face a challenge and choose to respond with patience and kindness toward yourself, you are strengthening your resilience. Patience is a powerful tool in building resilience because it reminds us that growth is a journey, not a destination. When you are patient with yourself, you allow yourself the space to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow at your own pace. And in this space, resilience flourishes. So, remember, solitude is not just about being alone. It's about using that time to build a deeper connection with yourself. It's about cultivating the strength to face life's challenges with confidence and grace. When you spend time in solitude, you are giving yourself the gift of resilience. You are planting the seeds of inner strength that will grow and support you throughout your life. Take time each day to be alone, to reflect, and to nurture your inner self. In doing so, you will find that no matter what life throws your way, you will remain steady, calm, and unshaken. Your resilience will carry you through, and you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more at peace with yourself and the world around you. The ultimate liberation. In the stillness of solitude, there is freedom, a kind of liberation that few people ever truly experience. We spend our lives surrounded by noise, people, responsibilities, distractions. Yet, the most profound peace comes not when we are surrounded by others, but when we are alone, connected only to ourselves. This is the ultimate liberation. As a Zen master, I want to take you on a journey to understand how being alone can lead you to a place of inner freedom. Many fear being alone. They feel emptiness or discomfort in the silence. But that silence, when embraced, becomes the door to the deepest freedom you can ever know. It's not a space of loneliness, but a space of strength, wisdom, and liberation. When we're alone, with no one to influence our thoughts, we are free to listen to our own inner voice. We have no need to impress anyone, no need to conform to expectations, no need to hide who we are. We simply exist, as we are, in the present moment. This is where true freedom begins, when we no longer need the approval of others to feel complete. In Buddhism, we are taught that attachment is the root of suffering. We cling to things, material possessions, people, ideas, and in doing so, we create our own pain. Solitude helps us detach. It allows us to see that we don't need these things to be happy. The things we cling to are temporary, fleeting, and ever-changing. When we let go, we become free. Let's reflect on this together. Picture yourself in a quiet room, alone. There's no phone, no TV, no distractions, just you. At first, your mind may resist. Thoughts may come, pulling you in different directions. You might feel an urge to check your phone, to reach out to someone, to do something. But if you sit with that discomfort, just for a moment, you will notice something powerful. Your thoughts will begin to settle. The noise in your mind will fade, and in its place, you'll find peace. This peace isn't a temporary feeling of relaxation. It's deeper than that. It's the kind of peace that comes from realizing you don't need anything outside of yourself to feel whole. You don't need external validation, because you are already enough. This realization is the key to liberation. In solitude, you learn that you are your own best company. You become your own teacher, your own guide. The wisdom that you seek from others is already within you. You just need the silence to hear it. This is why solitude is so powerful. It gives you the space to connect with your true self. Now, you might be wondering, how can I practice this in everyday life? How can I embrace solitude when the world around me is so busy, so full of noise? The answer lies in small, intentional steps. You don't have to go to a mountain or a monastery to experience the power of solitude. You can find it in the simple moments of your day. For example, take a few minutes each morning to sit in silence before the world wakes up. Turn off your phone, close your eyes, and just breathe. In those few moments, let go of the need to plan, to think, to worry. Just be. Or perhaps, at the end of a long day, instead of reaching for your phone or turning on the TV, sit in stillness for a while. Let your mind unwind naturally, without distractions. These moments of solitude, though brief, can have a profound impact on your sense of peace and liberation. There's another important lesson that solitude teaches us. Everything we need is already within us. We often look outside ourselves for happiness, searching for it in relationships, possessions, and achievements. But these things are all temporary. True happiness, the kind that lasts, comes from within. It's a state of being that isn't dependent on external circumstances. Solitude helps us tap into this inner well of happiness. It shows us that we are already complete, just as we are. In Zen, we have a saying, "Chop wood, carry water." This simple phrase reminds us that enlightenment is not found in some grand, mystical experience, but in the ordinary moments of life. When we are alone, doing simple tasks, whether it's cooking, cleaning, or walking, we have the opportunity to experience life fully in the present moment. There's no need for distraction or entertainment. The act of being, in and of itself, is enough. The ultimate liberation is realizing that you don't need anything outside of yourself to be happy, to be free. It's understanding that everything you seek is already within you. And this realization can only come through solitude. Solitude is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. It's a gift, a chance to reconnect with who you truly are. When you are alone, you are free from the judgments of others, free from the pressures of society, free from the noise of the world. In that space, you find yourself. You find peace. You find freedom. Many people avoid being alone because they fear what they will find in the silence. They're afraid of their own thoughts, their own emotions. But these things are not to be feared. They are part of the human experience. When you sit with them, without judgment, you begin to understand them. You begin to see that they are not as overwhelming as they once seemed. And in that understanding, you find freedom. The ultimate liberation is not about escaping the world, but about finding peace within it. It's about being able to walk through life with a sense of inner calm, knowing that no matter what happens around you, you are grounded in yourself. This is the power of solitude. It teaches you that you are enough, just as you are. It gives you the strength to face life's challenges with grace and resilience. As we come to the end of this part of our journey, I want you to remember this. Solitude is a gift. It's a chance to reconnect with yourself, to find peace in the present moment, and to experience the ultimate liberation. When you embrace solitude, you discover that you are never truly alone. You have yourself, and that is more than enough. This is the path to freedom. This is the ultimate liberation.